So you've been a director at Crossroads for,
I've been on the board for about the last 2 years, involved with Crossroads as a friend and financial supporter for about 20 years. I am close to the organization, which has been around for over 50. Again, for those approximate 20 years, and have had close relationships with senior management for the last many, many years.
and then you said that there's sort of, it's been a halfway house for substance abuse victims, and the demographic shift has been from,
Well, yeah, we started out as a halfway house for recovering alcoholics. That model changed a little bit probably 20 years ago with the advent of a pretty serious substance abuse as it relates to cocaine and other, I'll call them designer drugs. Our resident profile has changed dramatically in the last 5 years, really in the last year or two, from your sort of run-of-the-mill 45 to 60-year-old alcoholic to a late adolescent, teenage, methamphetamine or bath salt addict.
and so now you've been sort of shifting your board around. You've brought on a graduate student board member who's probably the youngest person you have, and you're sort of just going after this new issue as it's become more critical.
Well, correct. We've got a larger board than we've ever had, a more experienced board, a board that's been adept at fundraising in the past, and we have a what I'll call a student board member now who's just come on the last, I think since late last spring. She's a medical student and very bright. And then we have another interim board member who is a newly recovering person who likewise is committed to Crossroads and, as I recall, is a former resident.
Okay, and then you guys have marketing events, you have your fundraising events of dinners and all this, and you put together, you're trying to shift to more cost-effective fundraising events.
Right. We've had an annual dinner for many, many years, probably 20 plus. It's very employee intensive and capital intensive, and we don't honestly make that much money from the event. We've had a golf tournament for 15 plus years, which has been fine-tuned the last 2 or 3 and does make us actually a lot of money. We are setting up an endowment fund, which is currently in process now, which we hope over the next couple of years we can stake with between $500,000 and $1 million. We are on the lookout currently for perhaps the next facility, as we are essentially full in all the 7 facilities that we now own or lease. So we've sort of a never-ending demand of need for what we provide.
Okay, and you're trying to find new sources of fundraising, and you sort of leveraging the background and history of Crossroads into this new, more difficult problem of methamphetamines and bath salts in the future. So
Correct.
you're doing a shift. You're looking for new ways of raising funds that are more cost effective than before.
Correct. And I think we found over time that there isn't a family almost anywhere that isn't impacted by substance abuse in some form or fashion. So our message is resounds with most people.
Okay.